Let's go. We're freaking rolling. Let me adjust this really quickly. We're going to come at you with a small UFC episode today because my co-host isn't here today, so it's just me, but we have a variety of topics to cover on this episode, but I'm kind of an idiot. I definitely should have filmed one last week, but I didn't find the time, but we're trying to be more consistent, all right? And it sucks because there's things from like the Aspinall card, because that's the last card that we talked about. There's things I want to talk about on there, so I'm just gonna like speed round through some stuff, but I'll put timestamps so you can just slide through to the most recent things. But first of all, though, we'll get into Font versus Sandhagen. But I think that it would honestly be right to just not go all the way back to the Aspinall card, but talk about UFC 291. All right, we'll just get straight into this. What a wild card. Okay, bro. Like, let me pull up the Tapology, all right? And at the end, maybe because I've been absolutely obsessed with the UFC Matchmaker Sweepstakes, because it's like my favorite game to play. Like, I wish like the UFC made that into an app where you could just like play that, because I absolutely love doing that, and I can't find enough emails. And I literally just asked my sister for her email, her 2 emails, and then my girlfriend for her like school email, because I keep making them, and I hate how you can't really, it'll just like keep showing up on your phone as the first one you made. It doesn't let you like refresh the page and make a new one if you already entered in your email, which kind of sucks. But let's pull up UFC 291, all right? First of all, sadness for Tony Ferguson. After the eye poke, thanks a lot, Bobby. Thanks, Bobby. I know that I'm accidental, whatever, but I mean, like, dude, Tony was actually kind of like lighting him up in the beginning, but it is what it is. I was sad for Tony. I think the whole entire MMA community is sad for Tony, but the Salt Lake Special, baby. I'm trademarking that name. I think that I saw an article that titled there's like the Salt Lake Special. That's exactly what you've got to call that move, like the little fake jab to head kick. Roman Kopylov kind of did it. He had like a 75% Salt Lake Special, but I think he like feinted with the right and then came with the left, I believe, head kick. But how absolutely mind-boggling is that like a Justin Loki he like avenges his teammate in a weird way against a non-related really opponent in Dustin Poirier, but still I was depressed after that Dustin lost, because he was lighting him up in the first round. The first one was clean. I think he hurt Justin's eye, but the Salt Lake Special, baby. And it was good to see like nobody really got gassed out from the altitude, I don't think. But I think that at the end of the day, even if Dustin would have won the BMF title, like nobody would have complained. But it's like, it's just like common knowledge that Justin Gaethje's like the most violent guy in all of mixed martial arts. So the fact that he has that belt I feel like it should sit well with pretty much everybody. And once kind of everything dies off once kind of your sadness for Dustin losing kind of dies away, I think people will grow to appreciate that. But Justin has so many fans. But like, I just thought Dustin had that lock, because like you never see that guy losing besides he's in a title fight, honestly. I mean, same with Justin, but there's just something about Dustin Poirier, dude, that he's just a freaking brick wall. Justin is so good, don't get me wrong, but I think that 9 times out of 10 they fight. We just saw the 1/10, like the one time, and it just happened to be with a Salt Lake Special head kick. Crazy shit, dude. But the Uros Medic fight, absolute berserk madness. I was so pumped to see Uros come up and fight Semi the Jedi. I mean, Jesus Christ, that guy is a huge man in the way that he just ate some of those shots. He didn't give up on himself the entire time. I definitely, I feel like the majority of that division, if you get cracked by a Matthew Semmelsberger shot, you're not going to be okay, and you're not going to want to continue fighting. But Uros is just built different, bro. But Yeah, the UFC 290 was a fantastic card. It was just so short though. Like I felt like because I was just like chilling on my computer doing stuff, and I was doing like some Photoshop stuff, and I didn't watch any of the prelims, and they flew by. But they were all really good. I stopped and watched some of the Uros Medic fight, but Gabriel Bonfim, Kevin Holland, bro, let's run that sheet. Like I feel like that'd be a good fight, right? Recency bias, of course, Kellan. This wouldn't be a all gear no game podcast if you didn't match two guys up from the previous card, have them want them to fight against one another. But I think it would make sense though, because like if I was like pulling up the rankings, what is it? Where's the welterweight rankings right now? We got Kevin Holland at number 12. And shit, dude. I'm pretty sure Gabriel Bonfim can beat anybody in the top 15 right now, because the guy, he just comes out guns a-blazing, throws shots a little bit. Hands were down a little bit at the beginning against Trevin Giles, but the guy's guillotine is so on point, and he just seems so strong and so stiff. He's just like stiff as a board when you try to take that guy down. Like it seems like any force somebody tries to put into Gabriel, it seems like he doesn't budge. It seems like everywhere the fight goes, he's dictating where the positions are and everything. He's a special contender, and he's got the perfect frame to give everybody in the division problems. Great grappling to give everybody in the division problems. And then also on top of that, he's got the striking and the range. And I feel like he's been relatively untouched throughout his career. I don't know what his like exact record is. Let me check. Has the dude lost? That's the real question. 15-0. Yes. And then this is what is his second guillotine, because he beat Munir Lazez with the guillotine in his debut. Dude's a monster, but Kevin Holland looked good though. He sunk in that Darsh on Chiesa. Shoot, it'd be a really good fight. But obviously, you got Derek Lewis, the Alex Pereira. I'm interested to see like what other people think about that fight, because I feel like not a lot of questions were answered against. Because I thought for sure, because we're getting like Jan Blachowicz for sure is one of the best light heavyweights in the world. I was coming into this like, oh my god, we're gonna see how good Alex is, and obviously Alex is so good. But that fight was just strange, because I just hate those fights where it's you leave doubt in the minds of people because Jan is managing to get the takedown. Obviously, I think Jan lost just because he was absolutely huffing and puffing for air at the end of the fight and had the posture of a loser, getting on his knees, and Alex has his hands up walking around the octagon. Alex has insane cardio, especially for moving up a weight class. It's crazy. But I just don't know how Alex is going to fare against a guy like Kiri Prohaska or Magomed Ankalaev. I honestly think Magomed Ankalaev, when he comes back, he's going to prove his state, because I think that he low-key is pissed off about his last fight because he didn't get to really utilize his full skill set. Like, props to Jan Blachowicz, one of the most interesting stories in all of UFC history, just because of the fact that he is really good everywhere, and he has the Polish power. But besides that, it's like it's not like too crazy of a dynamic fighter, I feel like. And so the fact that he's up there is wild, because I never thought that he would get to the point where he is now. But I think that Alex Pereira, he obviously has more bragging rights over Izzy, but in this dub, because Izzy couldn't get the job done versus Jan. But it's going to be fun to see Hiri and Alex Pereira, because I think that's the fight to make. And I think when Hiri comes back, he's going to dominate him. But Alex can crack you. But it didn't seem to really stun. Like, he was blasting Jan with the jab. But nothing was too absurd, I feel like, that really just crumbled. It was it the second round where he was kind of starting to melt him a little bit. And we're like, oh, shoot, this is going to be interesting. But in the third round, Jan got that late takedown. And we never got to see any late fight fireworks. But UFC 291 solid, not as great as I thought it was going to be, but the main event sold itself, I feel like, because if we had Stephen Thompson versus Michel Pereira and Paulo Costa versus Ikram Aliskerov on there, it would have been whack. But that's that, dude. But okay, I want to go back really quickly. Let's go back to Aspinall versus Tybura. Okay, I know this is a blast from the past here, but I didn't get to talk about it after like last week or whatever. And so I feel comfortable behind here. It's good. Probably really boring. But let's go down to what was it? Let's talk about Mick Parkin first, dude. Mick looked good. He's got good stand-up. He's got good head movement. He got a good jab. He'll poke you. He pokes and prods you the entire fight, and he gets the dub. I like Mick Parkin. Great heavyweight. He's in shape too. He doesn't get tired. He's got a good frame. I think that he's gonna be a player. The Alvarez versus Jacasey fight that sucked, but Johnny Parsons is a dog, bro. New favorite fighter, Loki. We got a new favorite fighter. Johnny Parsons, he throws down. Okay, he doesn't look like much because he's just a little bulldog. He doesn't really look like he fits into that 170-pound division, just because you see so many of these freak athletes that are long and have these like incredible physiques and stuff. But like Johnny Parsons going in there, like I think that he's a really good fighter. He gets into the pocket, he throws heaters, and he has a good chin. So I mean, hey, dude. Fucking, you got a fan in me for sure. Like, I think that there's gonna be some serious mismatches. Because I don't know, like, is he at? Because I think he's a legitimate 170-pound fighter, right? Not sure. Let's see. Was it a 170-pound bout? Yeah, it was a 175-pound bout in his Dana White Contender Series main event. Special athlete, special fighter. I really like Johnny, and his hair is sickening. So that's one guy. I was like, Danny Hot Chocolate should clean this guy up, right? He was touching him a little bit at the beginning, but Johnny got the job done. Jai Herbert didn't. Fucking sucks. Paul Craig looked good. Andre Fili versus Nate Wood. Nathaniel showed chinks in the armor, which was something that I was interested to see, because I feel like Andre Fili can fight with the best in the world and give the best guys in the world a decent competition, just because he's got he's got pretty good wrestling, dude. He's got good scrambles. He's got the ability to get back up to his feet, and we all know that he likes to throw on the when his feet are downwards on the canvas when he's standing up. So I knew that this was going to be the toughest fight for Nathaniel Wood, even though I know Charles Jourdain is tough, but Andre Fili has definitely a better ground game than Charles. So good competition. I mean, in that second round, Nathaniel was on the brink of getting finished, but he's so tough, and I think that he's going to come back stronger than ever. I really want Andre Fili, bro. If he needs to take a break, probably Andre needs to take a break, but just because he's taking some hard shots as of late. But yeah, and then we're getting into Tom Aspinall. This is the main thing that I really want to talk about. I just wanted to buzz through the Aspinall versus Tybura card, just because I feel like there's some decent talking points on here. But Tommy, the guy is so special. Let's look at the rankings. All right, let's look at the heavyweight rankings of the world. Got Johnny B, Judy B. Jones at the top. Sergey is number 1. Cyrilgan, Stipe, and Tom. So we've got Cyril's gonna be fighting. Who's Cyril fighting again? Let me see, dude. I'm blanking. My bad. Cyrilgan. Why am I blanking on? He's fighting somebody good, huh? Oh yeah, he's fighting. He's fighting Sergey Spivak. You see, that fight doesn't make sense to me like why Tommy wants to fight. Why does Tom want to fight obviously if Gon wins, for sure he wants to fight Gon. That's a great matchup for him. Be a skilled strike fest, and he has the advantage on the ground. I think he can definitely sink in a rear naked on Cyril. But he already beat Sergey. And I think that fight goes the exact same. Like, Sergey's good, like, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that he's improved that much in the last, since 2021 to make it a vastly different fight. And Tom's way better now. And even though that Sergey has been propelling himself to the top, there's still a gap there. 100%. I think Sergey gives the majority of the division issues, but just not Tom. Tom's probably one of the worst for him, just because Sergey, you're not going to body slam and manhandle and bully Tom. Like, that doesn't work. Like, Tom moves like Cyril Gane, but he has the grappling with John Jones, So I think that Tom is going to get a title shot here soon, and I think that it's going to be I think that he's going to do the number 1 contender fight with Sergey, Pavlovich, because I don't think that the Gane versus Spivak thing that he wants to do makes any sense. But I don't see John sticking around after he beats Stipe. If he does beat Stipe, trust me, I'm going to be cheering for Stipe 100%. But Tom, but like Stipe, I don't think he has the skill set to beat John, and I think he's just going to walk away, beat the goat, get away, and then we can make Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich super fight. That'd be crazy. If John wants to stick around, though, The best fight for him is to fight Sergey. Do not fight Tom, because Tom is going to be the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. I guarantee it. The guy's on the path to become the GOAT. I mean, he's built like a freaking NFL middle linebacker, defensive end. There's no holes in the man's game. Yes, sir. Okay, so we covered UFC 291, all right? And I also said UFC 291, Uros versus Jedi, semi the Jedi, sneaky low-key, like Fody candidate. I'd say like, I don't know, top 20 fights of the year for sure, just because there was so much action. Because like the up kicks and then like semi falling back and then like Uros coming and then semi dropping him again over the temple. I mean, it was kind of crazy. And then Uros gets dropped. He was like unconscious. And then semi comes back. I mean, and then Uros comes back and then sits him down with this like in the pocket. He just like threw a sick combo. And then he was just like, semi was like on wobbly legs. And then I think he like finished him shortly after that. But crazy, it was sickening. And then you always gotta love when DC is chuckling to himself. Like when DC thinks something's funny, it always gets a laugh out of me for sure. But yes sir, dude. So UFC 291 crazy, Aspinall card crazy. But now we've got Font versus Sandy, the Sandman Sandhagen, absolutely locked in, dialed against Chito Vera, one of the scariest people on planet Earth. Corey Sandhagen, so unbelievably good, dude. But the overarching theme of this card is dynamic strike fest. Okay, it's a dynamic striker fest because we've got Ignacio Bahamondes, we've got Kyler Phillips, we've got Dustin Jacoby, we've got obviously Corey Sandhagen, and we got Robbie, we got Billy Quarantillo, baby, and then we got long and lanky Sean Woodson. I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, all right, and say that the KO of the year, I'm gonna say a top 5 KO of the year is coming on this card. It is too stacked. It has too many unbelievable athletes for there not to be something absolutely crazy. Because when Ignacio Bahamondes, what does he have? He has the crazy ass spinning heel kick KO over Roosevelt Roberts. Kyler Phillips, his resume speaks for himself. Dude is, what is he, the last guy to beat Song Yadong besides Corey, I think? Let's check that. Check our math. Let's check Songer. Yeah. The last guy not named Corey Sandhagen to beat Song Yadonger was Kyler Phillips, and I think people forget that because he lost to Hallian Paiva, but he was beating the absolute piss out of Hallian Paiva at the beginning. I thought that was one of the craziest mismatches. I was like, why is the UFC making this fight? Because Kyler Phillips is a dog, absolute great, slick transitions on the ground, can sub you, and then also he has crazy intense, like non-telegraphed. He is straight up the Matrix on the feet. Like, you don't know where anything's coming from. He's going to dodge shit. He doesn't really get cracked, I feel like. And he's just an extremely fun fighter. So, that back-to-back. Like, we get to watch Raoni Barcelos versus Kyler Phillips and Ignacio Bahamondes versus Ludovic Klein. That is high-level striking MMA back-to-back, baby. Like that, you can't really ask for anything better than that. And then also, we get Billy freaking Quarantillo versus Damon Jackson, which is going to be sick because Billy Quarantillo, never in a boring fight. Even when he gets knocked out unconscious against Edson Barboza. Dude, insane fight. But Billy is a treat to watch every single time, and we got to tune in because this man, he's pure violence, baby. And he literally will just march you down. He's tougher than nails, honestly. I mean, the guy, you literally have to do exactly what Edson Barboza does to get him out of there. You have to land him with something he doesn't see that is an extreme, that is like a abnormally strong extremity. Straight up fists and elbows alone are not going to take him out. You got to hit him with the legs. But you got to hit him with the femurs. You got to hit him with the tibias and the fibula because you almost need a sledgehammer to get Billy Q out of there. Then Jake Hadley, but then also we got Sean Woodson, the most impressively long stat-wise. Freaking intangibles up the wazoo because he's a freaking NBA basketball player wingspan, Kevin Durant looking guy at 145 pounds. And I'm excited to see the bazooka guy. Is that how you say bazooka? Dude, if he knocks somebody out, that's going to be a freaking meme because I don't really know how you say his name, but bazooka. I mean, is that not his nickname? Let's guess. Is his nickname Bazooka? Let's see. Dennis Bazooka the Great. God. Well, we don't really know how it's spelled. Is it Bazooka? It's not Bazooka. It's got to be Bazooka. He's from America? Oh, from the north. Dude, why does this guy look like somebody familiar? I don't know. I'm getting some sketchy ads on my computer here. Don't like that. Tapology, clean your shit up. Jeremiah Wells, Carlson Harris. But yeah, that's like the overarching theme is that we've just got Strikefest and Dustin Jacoby, world-class kickboxer. Jessica Andrade, one of my favorite female fighters. But let's get some, you want some pro expert knowledge breakdown, Dominic Cruz-esque breakdown of Sandy versus Rob Font. I rewatched the Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez fight. Baby, that was a war. And Robbie was getting touched up. And what really just, I think the thing that scares me the most, that was the best guy that Adrian Yanez has fought, you know? And Rob Font has way more experience than, and just a higher level of, he just fought higher level competition, and I think that really played a factor in why he was able to land those shots at the end or whatever. And Adrian Yanez does get touched. Like against Randy Costa was like, he was like peppering him with the jab in the early rounds and like the first round, and then also with David Grant. David Grant was like hitting him with tough shots. So, if Corey is locked in and dialed in, like I know he's going to be, it's going to be a long night at the office for Rob. Like I love Rob Font. He's got the freaking biggest, he's got the big hands. He's got big paws, a lot of surface area to turn your lights out, to press that button and turn your lights out. But I mean, his game plan is really simple. Like if he doesn't get that jab off and get close the distance and march forward, it's going to be tough. Because Corey Sandhagen, his footwork is so good. I mean, he just moves around the octagon, can fight going backwards, fight going forward. And then he also like mixes in takedowns. It's just ultimate confusion from Corey. And I just feel like he's going to, like I was watching the interview with him when he's breaking down the whole division. He just throws too much at you that it just overstims your system and you just freeze in there, man. And he's just getting better constantly, and he's dedicated to his craft. Not saying Rob's not. I just think that Corey has so much more tools in his belt to beat Rob than Rob does him, besides land a big shot. But that said, saying this right now, even though, like, what? Okay, this like doesn't like make a ton of sense. This is just like a feeling that I get when I'm watching. Corey seems like he's in control of his fights, right? Like he's controlling Song Yadong, he's controlling Chito Vera, but for some reason, every time I'm watching, I'm feeling like there's I never feel like completely like that Corey. Like I always feel like it could snap. Anything could happen at any moment where Corey just loses control of the fight. Like I just feel like I just feel like a big moment can come from his opponent and it could just change the direction of the fight. I don't know, it sounds really strange, but the whole time I was watching Chito Vera versus Sandhagen, it was interesting to me because I'm thinking to myself that Corey is winning this entire fight, but if Marlon just starts throwing shots and starts going forward and just start throwing caution to the wind, bro, it could be a completely different fight right now. Because it's like, and when Marlon was throwing, it seemed like he was having a little bit of success. And I don't know, I maybe Rob just doesn't give a fuck, and he's just gonna just throw shit at Corey and see what happens. And if we just get a collision inside in the middle of the octagon, it could be one of the fights of the year for sure. But I didn't know that really Rob had it in him to put somebody's lights out like he did against Adrian Yanez. But then again, Corey Sandhagen got a chin of granite and he's ready to die in there. So Ground game, I definitely give Corey the advantage, but Rob has been trying to get a little bit of those takedowns because I think against Cody Garbrandt, he was trying to get some he was changing levels a little bit. But this isn't Cody Garbrandt here. This is Corey the Sandman. It's gonna be tough. I really want it to be a good fight. I really love both of these fighters. Like Rob Font is a joy to watch. His boxing's so good, but he gets tagged, and I feel like Corey gets going early. Starts to bloody up, Rob. We're not dealing with Adrian Yanez. We're just Corey just doesn't not leave a lot of openings, man. He's too tight. He's too locked in. He's too focused. He's ready to be the champ. He's ready to be the champ, man. But yeah, I think that it's going to be a phenomenal fight card, and we're going to be stoked. I think Diego Lopez looks good. Lex Kamer's back. It's going to be fun. But transitioning in other MMA news. Actually, next. We don't really like to talk about this stuff here because it doesn't pertain to MMA, but I mean, it does, but Nate versus Jakey. We won't spend time on this because screw Jake Paul, but we like Nate Diaz. What if Nate goes out there? Like, I don't like it. It's tough because Nate's not in his prime anymore, but what if he goes in there and has like a vintage Michael Johnson-esque performance where he just pieces him up. Pieces Jake up. That'd be crazy. And also, who do you think hits harder, Leon or Jake? I don't know. I'm going with Leon. I don't know, though. Actually, probably Jake in terms of hand speed. I don't know. That's tough, but it's hard to know. I'm sure Jake probably hits harder. But, like, I just don't see Nate getting knocked out. I see Jake getting tired. And I've been watching Nate's stand-up. The dude slips. Like, I know he gets hit a lot, but he's fighting the best guys in the world, too. Especially on the feet. Like, when we're fighting Conor McGregor, and you're fighting, like prime-time Jorge Masvidal and Leon Edwards, the bread and butter of those men are striking. And I think all three of those dudes in like, their prime would, like, knock the snot out of Jake. So I just want Nate to win so badly, man. I want him to win so bad. And it's going to be so sad if he loses, but I have the faith that he's not. He just has the cardio for days. And I think he's just underrated with the box. His wiriness, dude. The thudding power. I know it doesn't feel like a lot, but accumulation on that face starts to hurt really quick. And I just think that he's a lot more skilled than people think. And he's going to stand in there and he's going to bang, baby. And I don't think that man's going to fall. It's going to take a lot for him to fall. I'm just trying to play out scenarios. Like, I'm preparing myself for sadness. But at the same time, I'm pumped for the opportunity that we get to knock off Jake Paul and maybe get him to retire. Be crazy. But I'm cheering for you, Nate. Sending positive energy your way to get that dub, man. Just, you need to do it for the MMA community. Our well-being is you have it in your grasp this Saturday night. Never been more intrigued to buy something that I never would pay for a boxing pay-per-view, and I definitely probably won't buy this, but if I was to buy one, probably be this one. But let's go to MMA news alerts. All right, let's get this thing done. Notes. In other MMA news, we've got some freaking sick fights. And we got one last segment, all right? We got our boy Giga Chikadze is back. And I think that he's prime, dude, for a title shot just because the man has been doing everything right. He's been chilling. He had a tough performance against Calvin Kattar, but he took his time off. I know for a fact Mans has been working, and he's kind of let the division play out, and that's been the move because there hasn't really been too much stuff happening besides people going up trying to beat Alexander and losing. So he's just kind of maintained his spot, and he's at number 9 right now. And the field is looking wide open for a title shot for our man Giga Chikadze. We can't forget about him because I think when it comes down to it, when it comes down to guys that give a lot of dudes in the division issues, it's gonna be Giga Chikadze if he just implements a little bit more of level changes and can stay on his feet and just make people fight his fight. I mean, the guy is so unbelievably dangerous. He can beat anybody ranked above him right now. It's tough when you go through it though. Like, and Calvin Kattar looked really good against him, but who knows what a rematch would look like. Josh Emmett, I feel like, would give him maybe some issues, but Giga's really good with that kick, baby, and I feel like he controls range well, but Emmett's going to probably be shooting on him. It's going to be tough. The elites, I mean, there's absolute murderers at 145, but I just have faith in Giga to come back and maybe get a little run in him, because he's still, how old is Giga? I think Giga's like 34. He's in his prime right now, isn't he? I don't know how old he is right now. I think he's gonna be good, dude. The guy, we just forgot. I mean, what over COVID? They do his body kicking guys left and right, and they were falling. And he also he beat Edson Barboza, beat Cub Swanson, like Omar Morales, like tough guys. And he had a setback. I think that he did what a lot of guys should do, and that's take time off, come back, sharpen your spear, come back versus Alex Caceres and remind everybody that you mean business. This is a great matchup for him, honestly. Like, Alex, he's a good striker, and honestly, this is like a great like baseline test, because Alex Caceres, he deserves this opportunity to crack into the top 10 without a doubt, because he's a very exciting fighter. But I think that Giga needs to display an ability to be able to stay off the mat and just fight his fight and just pick people apart like he does, because in almost every single fight that he has, he's going to have the speed advantage almost every single time. And it's going to be tough for guys to get in the pocket with him, because before you know it, he's already thrown like 3 or 4 punches and a kick. Nothing with him is telegraphed. He's just an extremely crisp and high level fighter in every which way. So he's just such a great addition to the division, and we've kind of been missing out on him because he hasn't been active at all. But it's primed and ready for him, because we're talking to fight against Alex Caceres, sure. Like, he's probably going to have to take a couple fights below him, maybe in the rankings. But because there's a lot of clusterfuck at the top where it's just interesting. Like, you got Ilya up there and Arnold Allen, just some crazy matchups, but crazy fights that need to play out. But this is a great way to just insert yourself back into the division with a win over a top 15 guy, and then also in the minds of the fans to remind people that Giga's a tough outing every single time, and we cannot judge him on that one fight against Calvin Kattar. Okay, that's what we cannot do. We cannot judge him. Like, you could have an off day, all right? You can have an off day against one of the best guys in the world. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, but I'm pumped for Giga Chikadze. I think that he's got the juice in the tank, and in terms of like becoming champion, like, who knows? We need Alexander Volkanovski to like move on, because he's the best fighter on planet Earth right now. One of them, top 3 for sure. And so we're gonna need somebody else. We're going to need him to step away, and we're going to need an IC opportunity, and maybe an interim title presents itself for Giga Chikadze. But when you're looking at it, like, I feel like he gives Brian Ortega issues. I feel like he gives Arnold Allen issues. I definitely feel like he gives Josh Emmett issues. Yair Rodriguez is tough. I don't see a lot of guys beating Yair Rodriguez besides Max Holloway, but we'll see where Giga's at in this Caceres fight. I was pumped for that, because the dude just makes the division, the 145-pound division, which is already popping, he makes it so much more exciting. All right. Then we got Daniel Zellhuber versus Christos Giagos. Okay, this fight's good. Like, go back and watch Lando Venata versus Zellhuber. I was writing Zellhuber off. I didn't know how good he was, but seeing his fight against, I believe it was Lando Venata. I mean, the guy is dynamic striker. What is he like? This is a lightweight bout. I think he's from Mexico or whatever. We got Manuel El Loco Torres, and we got Daniel Zellhuber. I mean, those are the guys. Those are the future Mexican prospects that are going to take over that lightweight division and make it exciting. Like, I mean, it already is exciting, but these guys got big frames, long limbs, and can touch you from literally anywhere, and so dynamic on the feet. I mean, just knockout power from every which way. I mean, I feel like they've got pretty decent ground games. I mean, I really haven't seen them, but I'm excited to watch Daniel Zellhuber. He is on the rise. Christos Giagos got a good dub over Ricky Glenn. It's going to be a good fight. Then we got Benoit Saint-Denis versus Thiago Moises. insane fight. We get to see a grappling fest between these two guys because it's going to be interesting to see who shoots first. It's going to be interesting to see who gets like prime position on one another. But at the end of the day, I really do think Benoit Saint-Denis is just on a different level in terms of strength and in terms of toughness. And I really do think that he's probably got the advantage in terms of not being hesitant to throw strikes against Thiago Moises. Like, Thiago is good, but I think he gets a little bit tight. But he got a good dub over Mazuki Okasu, who looked really good in his last fight. But Thiago Moises, he does seem a little bit hesitant on the feet to throw stuff. But we're going to see a lot of body kicks, I feel like. And we're going to see a lot of takedown attempts. And I feel like we're going to see just really high-level grappling. Really good fight, and it's going to be a great test to see. Like, whoever comes out of this fight, the winner, is going to set themselves up so well to get a great fight next and, like, prime themselves for a top 15, like. Because we are either I don't think Thiago's ranked. Yeah, Thiago's not ranked. But whoever wins this fight deserves to be ranked because those two guys, this is high level. Even though they're not in the top 15, like, this is high level shit that's gonna go down between those two men. And then the next thing that's crazy is Jonathan Martinez versus Adrian Yanez. I mean, talking about UFC Matchmaker Sweepstakes. I mean, this is a fight that I would make 100% because Jonathan Martinez. I mean, dude's kind of got the best striking in the bantamweight division, low key, and he's got great grappling as well. Beating Said Nurmagomedov is feather in your cap, son, because not a lot of guys can do that. Said Nurmagomedov was kind of like losing to Said Kakramanov, and then he sinks in a guillotine on him, I think. It's not easy to beat that man. Even when you think you're beating him, you lose. But Jonathan got the job done against a tough man, and Adrian Yanez is looking to come back and avenge his loss. Because I think this is going to be a stand-in banger, and I think that Jonathan Martinez may change some levels, but at the end of the day, I don't really see... Like, Jonathan Martinez, he did get cracked the one time against Davy Grant, and he lost that fight, but he also almost knocked Davy Grant out in the first round, and I was like, oh, shit. But Jonathan Martinez versus Adrian Yanez, oh, baby girl. That's an absolute money fight. In terms of who I give the edge to, I'd say Jonathan Martinez. I think it's his time. More people need to know about Jonathan Martinez, man. That guy can easily contend for a title. He gives a lot of guys in the bantamweight division issues just because of his length and also because of his well-rounded skill set, I feel like. And I mean, the teeps, bro. The teeps and the kicks and just his long, crisp shots. He doesn't get hit very well. He's got great technical striking, and he's just... Dude, he's just a baller. Like, that's all you can say. Okay. Let's go. Should we do it? What are we at, 37? Can we believe that I've been talking for 37 minutes this long? I know this is probably not super exciting for you guys, but I love talking about this shit. Okay. Let's go to UFC Matchmaker Sweepstakes. Let's make one more. Well, I'm going to make like 3 more, but I will just do one with you guys. Let's do a random one. Because I don't even know, like, this... Like, what even is the criteria for this? Do you just, like, make the card? Like, I don't even think they're not going to look at every single card and be like, oh, my God, like, this was a good one. Because everybody's going to look, like, relatively the same unless you, like, know nothing about the UFC. Or you're, like, really intricate and you're like, I want Natalia Silva versus... Or, like, freaking Esteban Ribebex versus... I don't know. Can't name off the top of my head, but let's start at the bottom. Who do we have? Let's spin the wheel. Let's go women's strawweight. Oh, dude, the interface is dark. Screw that, boy. Yeah, we'll go women's strawweight. What's fun there? Amanda Lemmer's going to be fighting for the title? Dang. It's going to be sick. Who would be a fun fight here? Let's go Tabitha Ritchie. This will be a rando. Let's go Tabitha Ritchie versus... Let's go down to the bottom. Bro, who is that one girl that literally just knocked the other girl out cold? She has like a cool name. Jasmine, what was it? Cheyenne Velismus. She's good. Emily Ducati, Berta Brazil. Dude, I feel like there's one girl. Oh, dude, Denise Gomes, bro. Yeah, she just knocked out Halrigi, right? Dude, yeah, let's do that. Let's do Denise Gomes versus Tabitha. That'd be a fireworks show. Okay, now let's go. Spin the wheel. Let's go men's flyweight. Let's go men. This is a small man's card here. This is a small people card. Getting out of breath. I want to see Sumu back. Let's see Sumu Darji come back here. The Tibetan Eagle. All right, we got the Tibetan Eagle coming back. Let's go down to the bottom, see if there's any sleepers. Oh, let's do Kalajason versus the Tibetan Eagle. Oh, yes. I like that. All right, next one. I'm a freaking matchmaker at heart. You know that. You know that. We go grapplers versus grapplers. We go strikers versus strikers. We don't go strikers versus grapplers. We don't do that. We don't do that. Frick, man. Let's go. Oh, baby. Let's go a featherweight, man. Let's go featherweight. Let's go down to the bottom. There's some exciting feathers. Let's go. Let's look through this. Got Nate Train, Landwehr, got Charles Alden, Crone Gracie. Anybody want to see a Crone Gracie fight? Let's go. Not Shane Young. Ricardo Ramos is fun. Duho, Andre Tachi Pele. Steve Garcia's fun. Dude, Jose Mariscal. Lucas Almeida. Dude, there's so many good 45ers. It's actually ridiculous. Bro, that Gabriel Miranda guy, he came up and what did he fight Benoit? Jesus Christ. That sucks. David I love David Onama. Let's go back down to the bottom. We'll go. Oh, you know who gives a good fight every time is Downtown TJ Brown. Who's a good matchup? We need to get Downtown TJ Brown a dub because what did he lose to Bill Algeo? But he was beating he was beating up Bill. Who's a fun fight for Downtown TJ Brown? Let's go with. Let's go Steve Garcia. Let's go Steve Garcia versus Downtown TJ Brown. Dude, Steve Garcia is a dog. Who did he fight last, dude? He knocked somebody on gunjas. He knocks him on gunjas. He wasn't supposed to knock him on. Oh, was it Chase? Was it Chase Hooper that he knocked on gunjas? Oh no. Yeah, he beat Chase, yes. But he beat Shilan Nerdenbecker, which nobody was expecting. Everybody was writing his ass off. Because they're like, oh, Shilan's coming in. He looks like a tank. And then Stevie just absolutely cracks. I think Shilan in like the first 10 seconds of the fight, like absolutely popped his ass. But yeah. All right. The co-main event of the evening. Let's go. Spin the wheel. Do you go heavyweight bout, huh? Heavyweight bout, let's go. Yeah, let's go heavyweight bout. Nah, dude, heavyweight bout's like, we wanna. No. Let's go lightweight. The lightweights. All right, let's scroll down to the bottom. Scroll down to the bottom of the lightweights. All right, we're gonna go. Oh gosh, golly, so many absolute studs. You just scroll, you're like stud. I mean, that's what the UFC is, but dude, we gotta go with let's go Reby. I put Rybavix in like all mine. Esteban, because I just think he's so unbelievably special. We'll go Reby. Esteban Rybavix versus who's fun? Should we go El Loco or do we go Zellhuber? God, those are good picks, Kellan. You're a special matchmaker, Kellan. Truly a special matchmaker. We'll go El Loco just for the sake of time. Dude, could you imagine that bang bang? Oh my God. Esteban Ribovics versus Manuel Torres. Somebody's going unconscious in the first round. I guarantee it. And that fight's not going to the... I mean, it might go to the ground because Esteban might take it there. With a little Kimura technique or whatever. Might pull Kimura, but... who cares? Because Esteban is the most exciting fighter in the entire UFC. Okay. Let's go women's main event. We're going to go women's flyweight, without a doubt. Who should the women's flyweight main event be? I know Natalia Silva, the most exciting women fighter on planet Earth. Natalia Silva. Bam. All right, who should Natalia fight? Dude, Natalia Silva is such a bad ass. Most exciting, dude. But we need to just fight somebody good. Who's good? Who's good in here? There's a lot of good women's flyweights. Karine Silva. I mean, that's my dream matchup. The Silva's going at it. Andrea Lee's gonna have a hell of a time versus Natalia. It's gonna be crazy. Who's not afraid to throw, but that's not gonna shoot. Actually, who cares if they shoot too much because she just stuffs it. If Amanda Hebos fought Natalia Silva, I think Amanda Hebos is going night-night. Do we go Macy Barber? Does she throw down? Macy Barber throws down. We're going to take a gamble on it. All right. We got Tabitha Ritchie versus Denise Gomes. Women's strawweight. We got Sumu Darji versus Clayton Rodriguez. We got Downtown TJ Brown versus Steve Garcia. We got Manuel Loco Torres versus Esteban Ribovics. We got Natalia Silva versus Macy Barber. You know how many people would watch this on ESPN? 0. You know how many people would regret it? 8.8 billion people. However many people on planet Earth. Because this would actually go down as the greatest card in the history of the entire UFC. I guarantee you that. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched it, if you made it all the way through, props to you. Subscribe if you want. Don't blame me if you don't. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And we'll be back at it soon here. Let's go.